Hi Peeps! Welcome back to the Planti Pod. I'm Zohra.
And I'm Josh.
Yay! Welcome to episode 5. We are talking about today. We're doing frequently asked questions.
No, we're doing Ask Us Anything.
Sorry.
I know. I was like, we're doing FAQs right before we started recording. And I was like, no, it's Ask Us Anything.
Yes.
Isn't that like a Instagram or TikTok thing? You're like, ask me anything.
AMA.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we did that. I posted it on Instagram and I guess it also fed to Facebook because, Meta.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys submitted questions and we have said questions.
Yes.
We picked 5 questions to answer to keep this nice and short so we have time to talk about these instead of just being like, yep, yes, no. Okay, that's the episode.
Yes, and we're busting out the shop phone again, our little trusty iPhone 8.
iPhone 8 for the win with her button.
With her button. I will be reading our questions. Thank you for sending them in, by the way.
Appreciate it. We'll do another episode in the future if you missed on not doing one of these. Or if you're watching on YouTube and you're like, why didn't I hear anything about this? Put your questions in the box below and we'll film another.
Okay, so our first question is, what is your favorite Hoya and why?
Ooh, okay. My favorite Hoya is, oh my God, I have so many that I love. Matilde Splash.
Mm-hmm.
I also love the Great Ghost Carnosa. I like any Hoya that's like silvery. Mm-hmm. So Matilde Splash, I think that's my favorite because it is one that I got somewhere at a plant shop. It was not priced crazy expensive, but then everyone forever, because I used to take it with me to market. So I had one for years and I used to take it with me when we did markets at Planti Peeps. And I would use it to display our trellises and people were like, how much for the Hoya? Like everyone wanted to buy it. Yeah. So I was like, she's sought after. People want her. But she's mine.
Oh, okay. That's a good one because I was actually going to bring up a Matilde Splash because initially I was a little bit of a Hoya, not a hater. I was a Hoya. Cynicism.
Yeah, she was like, so every one of those, no matter what you do, will get mealybugs.
Yeah.
If you want mealybugs in your home, buy a Hoya. That was Zohra up until after I beat her down over it for 6 months. I was like, you should get a Hoya. She was like, I should also jump into moving traffic.
Little bit of propaganda. No, genuinely, the first Hoya I ever got was the Carry-Eye.
Oh, the heart-shaped one.
Yes.
Did you buy one of those where it was the leaf just in the soil?
No.
The people that buy that, I'm always like, oh, sweets.
Yeah,
we got a dog.
This is bad. Yeah, I knew not to get that one.
Okay, love.
Thankfully, I did know not to get that one. I got one off Marketplace from someone who was selling one. It was quite expensive. It kind of died very quickly. It wasn't happy. And then it got mealybugs. So I was like, I'm scared. And then since then I was like,
So she had one bad experience and then was a Hoya hater.
Look, I've changed. I'm reformed now because I love Hoyas. I similarly got an Obovata from you. You gave me a cutting.
Yep.
So it's not fully, I've just potted it up. So I love her because she's also that cute, bigger leaf shape. Mm-hmm, so I like that. But the first Hoya that I got from you was a Matilde Splash, and I love it. It's so cute.
She was probably a cutting from that plant. Yeah.
Super cute. I really like that. And yeah, love Hoyas now. I'm reformed.
Perfect.
Yay. All right, our next question is, what was your first plant?
Okay, my first plant ever, in my entire life, because I definitely remember having, when I was 8, a grafted cactus, and I had it in my room, and I had blinds closed all the time, because my mom was very decoraty, we have to have these frilly blinds and don't open your blinds because it's the front of the house and people could look in. She was dead in 3 days. I remember just falling apart and I was like, oops. So that was probably I guess my first plant ever. And then I had in my other adulthood, I had a spider plant when I lived in Long Island City. But my first plant I got when I really was what got me into plants was a Monstera deliciosa. I wanted to get in plants or get into plants. I was watching people talk about plants over COVID and right when I moved to Australia. And yeah, I got 2 Monstera deliciosas and I still have them. They're actually grown outside right now, but I still have them.
There you go. My first plant, I've mentioned before 3 times. Everyone's we're sick of hearing you talk about it.
I'm Zohra's first plant is
a Portulacaria afra.
I should have moved my lips because I could have literally said it with you.
He knows. He's can you stop talking about
this? I was oh, she loves these. I remember you when you brought it up. You're that was my first plant because we had them in the shop and they looked kind of scraggly. And I was these don't look great. And Zohra was I love Portulacaria. And I was why? So much as she's had a bad experience with Hoyas.
Yeah, I don't know why. It just happened to be there because honestly, it was being marketed as a jade bonsai, and for some reason at the time my brain was like, wow, because apparently it's an easier. So I had two. My first plant was that, and then I got another one, two bonsai, which I still have. It's like a little tree now, which is super cute. But that was my first plant, and then because you guys are sick of me hearing me talk about
She'll
that.
bring it up next episode. She's gonna find a way.
Oh, we have to make a tally at this point. Every single episode. No, the next one was a heartleaf philodendron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to see this vining plant.
A trailing plant is a very good first plant.
Yes. And I had it in water actually, because I was too scared of the gnats.
Scared of the mealybugs. Scared of the gnats.
Guys, I was terrified.
If you're going to learn anything about Zohra today, she gets scared very easy.
I'm a fearful plant parent. Well, not anymore, because I feel like we've set ourselves up.
Now she's a strong, independent plant parent.
I am, but baby me was like, not the mealy. I don't have an exciting place that I had my first plant like Josh. I wasn't like, I was in Long Island.
Long Island City. It's in Queens, not proper Long Island. Do not mix the two up. I never lived on Long Island. Sorry, New York City people versus New York State.
I'm like, I was in like Northside Belconna, and you're like...
She was like, I was Northside Canberra versus Southside.
Okay, so our next question is leca a good cover for fungus gnats?
Okay, so if you just seen, because this is episode 5,
yes.
Episode 3 that we released the day we're recording this, we talked about top dressing for plants and how it is not very effective. And I will have to say, leca, to me, is probably the most expensive thing I see people buy to use in the most obscure ways.
Yeah.
It is meant to be like your semi-hydro medium, but I see people who mix it into like their potting mix for aeration. And I'm like, perlite is cheaper, pumice is cheaper. Like buy one of those. Or they will like put it at the bottom of their pots for drainage. And I'm like, if your soil's well draining, you don't need to do that. Or I would not use it for top dressing. It might look nice, but it's not going to do anything to prevent gnats, especially at the size of like how big they are, like how many millimeters. I think most leca is something like 15 to 20 millimeters wide. Yeah. Like there's going to be big enough caverns. Those fungus gnats are going to go right
They're
through.
Going to go right in. The forbidden Maltesers.
If you do have the forbidden Maltesers, if you do have fungus gnats, go watch that episode or listen to that episode. We will talk you through everything there.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand why people would think that that's a thing, but we don't recommend it. So, no. Okay, so our next question, I actually do remember. It is, why and when did you decide to go from your online to in person?
Okay, yes, that is a good question. For those of you who don't know, we're in Planti Peeps physical shop right now. I launched the business when this is going up almost 3 years ago. And after 2 years, we opened a brick and mortar shop. And for me, there were a few factors. One was size of the business. We were outgrowing both the garage space I had at home to hold inventory to actually function. And I just needed space, whether that was a storage unit or something to move out of there. And I thought, if I'm going to pay for a storage unit, which is going to be a few $100s a month, why would I not want to pay a little more and have an actual shop where people can come to? And if they want to come and buy things, they can do it in person and have a look around versus just coming to like pick them up. And we had been doing markets also. That was another point. And I'd had this great connection with customers in person where I would talk them through like how to water their plant, how to feed their plant, what potting mix to put it in, how to repot it. And then at the end of the conversation, they would literally be like, great, so you mentioned this plant that would be perfect for me. Do you have that plant? And I was like, no, we don't sell plants. And they were like, girl, what?
Yeah.
So I was like, I want a space to sell plants because I feel like that's like closing the loop of it. And then just the size of the business in terms of like total retail sales we were doing like per month, per week, annually. My background is in sales, so I very much am driven by numbers and looking at like, month over month growth and looking at where the business is going and what's our mix of business between online and in-store, and at the time between markets and online. And for me, we were actually doing about, at the time, 50-50 markets and online. And that said, like, if I can do a market 2 or 3 times a month, and that's similar volume to what we were doing online, think of what I could do if we had a store. And when we did open the store, we were only open 3 days a week because I was still working full time. And obviously now I'm not. So we're now open more. And at the time of this coming out, we're actually expanding our physical space to almost triple the size. So from where we're sitting, this is probably, we'll have one more episode sitting where we are here on the couch. Yeah. The couch is still in the shop. But we will have since moved, and the couch will no longer be here. In fact, this wall will no longer be here. We'll be opening this up because the space next door is part of the Planti Peep shop now.
Yay!
So yeah, that's kind of how we decided to move. But it's very much like an ever evolving thing. Like I stay very close to what's going on with the business and listen to you guys as well. And I think a lot of people wanted to see us in person more often than we could do, and with a bigger assortment of products.
I have a note in my phone from like 2022 or 2023, and it says places to get plant things. It literally just says Planti Peeps and has the website link. It's dated back to that time, and then I never added anything else to that note because I was like, oh, this has everything. And then I was like, oh, but now I just have to go to like Bunnings, you know? So I was very happy. And then I helped out a couple of markets with you, and then I think we did you organized the indoor
Canberra Plant Lovers Fair, which was like our take on like Sydney or Newcastle's Collectors Plant Fair, like a much smaller format, obviously, but we had like 10 something vendors. It was a Sunday for 4 hours. I get people asking us to do that event all the time, and if you are interested in helping us set it up, please let me know, because it is not something I have the bandwidth to do while running the growing business we have here. Back then we were just online. So it was like I had the time to commit to it. But yeah, that was like a big moment for me where I was like, people want to see this in person, because you know, it's such an amazing day to see all those people shopping in person. But of all the vendors we had, I think only one of them had a shop. Everybody else was like, did markets or popped up or sold online. And I was like, if this is the point of difference for us. And that was the end of November 2024. And I started looking December at places. I did not tell Chris. Hi, Chris. If you're listening, that's my partner. That I started kind of looking at like real estate at that time, because I was like, I need to find like a rental. And then I found this place in January.
Yeah, that was December, like 1st of December or something.
Yeah, well, because like 2 weeks later we found the couch.
Yeah, and then open here.
I found the couch before we had a place to put it.
She kind of was like a big part of the story.
It's very much a statement piece.
Catapulted it into action, because you were kind of like, I'm gonna put it in the garage. I know we don't have the space yet, but the couch is...
We'll figure it out. I was like, worst case, 6 months from now, I put it on Marketplace and sell it.
Yeah, and now she's iconic. Let me check the last question. Okay. So it is, how did we meet?
How did we meet? It's a very tricky question. So I'm pretty sure I was selling something on Facebook Marketplace, like way back before Planti Peeps was a thing. This would have been like 2021, because I moved to Canberra in 2020, and then I got into plants, and I was probably selling like cuttings and things on Marketplace. And I think you bought something and came to my house to like pick it up, and that was it. I can't remember if that was that the jewel orchid that I sold you, or was that something else at the time?
I believe it was a jewel orchid, but I walked away with like
I gave you Cebu Blue cuttings. I was like, or did you buy the Cebu Blue? I can't remember. Yeah, because I had a Cebu Blue that was just wild, and I was selling cuttings, and no one was buying them. So I was like, girl, I'm just giving these to like the next person who comes.
You just gave them to me. I didn't buy them off you. I think I was grabbing the jewel orchid off of you, and then you were like, I have a plastic cup, and I put it in here. And he was so considerate. He was like, I put it in this so that if you're driving, you can just put it in your cup holder, and like it had these like really long Cebu Blue cuttings. So that's and I went to Josh's place to pick it up, and I was like, whoa.
Whoa, plant cuttings.
And then I think like not too long after that, I got something else from you. I eventually got, like, when you did open your online store, I got foliage focus from you because I couldn't get it anywhere else here. And I got I brought him like a little pot that I painted with Planti Peeps on it.
In like our coloring at the time.
Yes. So I was trying to be like, extend the hand of friendship. I was like, let me offer you this. And
and then we like were friendly while you were working over at another place that sold plants, because obviously like I knew you through that. And then I knew you through like making like your pots and stuff where you were like painting things. Small Cloud Studios plug right there.
Thanks.
And then I think I like not like cold DM'd you, but I was just like, hey girl, I need like an extra set of hands for this like market or something. Do you want to help? And you were like, okay. Because I knew like she had retail experience. I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I know she likes the business. I know she knows about plants. Like, this should work. And that was like 2 years ago now. Maybe a bit longer.
But it would it would have been 2-3 years ago. And it wasn't just, but then when we actually did like our market together, we were like riffing and like having fun.
Every Wendy Williams quote ever. Like, what was that? James.
But it wasn't just like, oh, like I'm helping out like in this just retail setting. It was like very like
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we did like 2 markets together.
yeah.
And then after that, I'm pretty sure I was like, hey, I'm going to start looking for like some random furniture and stuff. Like, because I'm like
Yes.
toying with this. Do you want to come with me?
Yeah.
And that was the first time you went to Goodies Junction. If you're in Canberra, that replaced
Smuggling.
the Green Shed.
Yes. Yep.
South Side, because you would always went to the Mitchell one.
I did.
And I was like, girl, you would go South Side.
Yeah.
I don't go South Side for a lot, but when I do, it's for something good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Isn't that where you? No, this is.
That's where this was from.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, thrift.
So-
Find your secondhand.
Yeah. So that is how we met, and since then, chaos.
Chaos has ensued.
Yes. Yeah. So yay.
So that's it. Well,
Yay.
thank you for submitting your questions. As always, if you want to shop with us at Planti Peeps, you can do so online at plantipeeps.com.au, and you can use the code PlantiPod10 for 10% off your order. What else should everybody do, Zohra?
Follow us Instagram, TikTok, whatever you use. We're there. Planti Peeps on everything.
Mhm.
Leave us a comment if you want. If you want any more questions, like you said before.
If you're
Yeah.
listening
Yeah.
on Spotify or Apple,
Yep.
leave us a review.
Yeah.
That's always kind.
Would
I
love
think now that we're on episode 5, we have to start asking for things like
Yeah.
that, don't we?
I know.
But we appreciate all of you. We see how many listeners are coming in and how many people are watching on YouTube and who's leaving us likes and things. It's very appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate everyone for watching. And when people come in and they're like, love the pod, I get so happy. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very nice seeing people in person. And I'm like, you listen to that.
Yeah.
Love that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So if you got this far, you definitely deserve the 10%. So please use the code.
Hop to it.
Yeah.
So awesome. Thanks,
Yay.
peeps. We'll
Thank
see you in
you.
episode 6.
Bye.